Thanks for joining me today. If you want to, be sure and put your phones on Do Not Disturb so we can have a little time here together. Making your way to your mat. No promises today on how long the flow will be since I am perpetually wrong. I aim for 30 minutes, I get 45. I say it's 45, I get 30. So we're going anywhere 30 to 45 minutes. But we'll take just 1 minute here to come to stillness, taking any seat you wish, easy seat, or this is a modified hero's pose, just sitting on my heels. Just bringing the mind to focus, tuning out everything that's happened today, listening to your body, your thoughts, your emotions. Just really letting whatever might be weighing you down or occupying your mind, just letting it go. We'll take a few deep breaths here, so breathing in through the nose, pulling the breath all the way down to the base of the spine, filling the lungs. And when you can't get any more air in, pause, open the mouth, and let it all go. We'll do that 2 more times, breathing in through the nose. And exhale. One more breath together, in through the nose. And exhale. Take a quick body scan and see if there's any pockets where you're holding tension. Starting at the top of your body, see if you can soften your forehead. Maybe relax your cheeks, your jaw, your neck, maybe taking a little bit of movement, getting any kinks out. Relaxing the shoulders, allowing them to fall down the back. Relaxing the hips, the arms, and the legs. So I invite you to call an intention to heart if there's something you wish to take with you through the practice today. I'll offer up my usual intention and my handy fallback of just being fully present. Being 100% right here, right now. Take a few more minutes, a few more seconds of stillness. And we'll prepare to move. So starting with releasing the hands down by your side, we'll inhale, arms up and overhead, maybe taking the gaze up, and then exhale, dropping the hands down. Inhale, arms up, maybe taking a gentle back bend, and exhale, the arms down. One more, inhale, arms up, and then exhale, arms down. Now taking the left hand to the outside of the right knee, the right arm behind you. We'll do just a gentle twist since it's early in the practice. So inhale, extending up through the spine, and then exhale, turning back to your right. Gently twisting. Your head and gaze are the last to look behind you, being careful with your neck. And releasing back to center, we'll take it to the other side. So right hand goes to the outside of the left knee. Left arm drops behind you. Inhale, extend up through the spine. Exhale, turn back to your left. Inhale, extend. And exhale, twist. Breathing deeply here. Returning to center, we'll take one more quick on each side. So inhale, turning back to the right. Bring it back center, and then over to the left. Now we'll get into the side body. So again, bringing arms just alongside the body, taking your right hand down to the mat, extending left arm up and over the head, keeping your hips firmly planted on the mat. We'll lean over to the right, extending up, out, and then reaching over with the left arm. Inhale, reaching up and out. Exhale, bending down and out to the side, keeping both sit bones, or for me, I guess I'm still sitting on my heels, so just keeping firmly planted down on the mat. We'll come back through center, take it over to the other side, so dropping left hand down, right arm comes up and over, extending out, and then down. Really feeling a nice stretch all the way through the right side body, all the way from the top of the hips, up the left side, into the right side, into the right arm. We'll come back to center, take it quickly to the other side, leaning over on the exhale. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, and then bring the hands down through heart center. Next, we'll turn to our tabletop pose. So coming to all fours. Check here quickly to make sure the knees are directly under the hips. Hands are under elbows, under shoulders. Fingers spread wide. Your weight is evenly distributed, so maybe you just circle around your hands and knees. Just getting a little movement, coming to neutral, a nice flat back. And we'll do 3 traditional cat-cows like always. So inhale, dropping the belly, lifting the gaze. Coming into cow, exhale, arching the back, pulling the belly button to the spine, pushing into the mat through the hands, really arching up that back. Gaze goes back between your legs. In cat. Inhale into cow. Exhale into cat. Inhale to cow. And then exhale to cat. We'll start by dropping the left leg back, so straightening it, coming up to the toes at the back of the mat, then keeping those toes planted, really shifting your weight backwards, so getting a nice stretch in the foot, strong in the leg. We're pushing into the mat with our hands, our arms are nice and straight, but we're not locking them. And then lifting the leg up parallel to the mat. Nice strong abs, straight leg, and if you wish, you can extend the right arm straight in front of you, fingertips reaching straight ahead, gaze stays down on the mat, taking care for our neck. And if you wish to do 3 crunches, knee to elbow under your belly, we'll extend on the inhale, crunch the knee to elbow on the exhale, extend, inhale, crunch, exhale, extend, inhale, and then crunch, exhale. Returning to the tabletop, we'll reset with a quick cat-cow. And then dropping the right leg back behind us, kicking the left foot out to the side, we'll come to a modified side plank pose. So at this point, you can choose to keep your right knee on the mat, or left knee, whichever knee is on the mat, your bent leg. Or if you wish to do a little challenge here, you can drop both feet back and come into a full side plank. So extending the arm up even adds more instability and makes it more challenging. We'll hold the plank here for 3, 2, 1. And then we'll drop that knee back down, extend the top arm straight out in front of you. So we're extending through the fingertips all the way down the top side body, down to the outside of the right foot. And then inhale, we'll do knee to elbow again. So keep getting into our obliques. So inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. We'll do 3 of these, 2. And 3. Extend. Dropping back down into our tabletop. Maybe another quick cat-cow to reset. And then we'll take the same to the other side. So extending the right leg straight back, coming up on the toes. And really pushing our weight back behind us, stretching that calf muscle, the foot, strong in our arms. And then we'll lift that straight leg parallel off the mat. And if you wish, extending the left arm straight out, coming into a balancing tabletop. And then 3 crunches. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, extend. Crunch. Extend. Crunch. Extend. Now we'll take that side plank pose to the other side. So coming around here. Drop the right knee back behind us, kicking the left leg out, keeping the right hand planted under the body, and then extending the left arm up in the air. Again, we can go into a full side plank for a bit more of a challenge. Being sure to really push the hips up in the air, we're not dipping down. Side plank for 3, 2, and 1. Coming back down to our modified side plank. Now we'll go into the full extension with the left arm straight out, raising left leg, and then we'll do 3 side crunches here, hitting the obliques on our left side. So inhale, extending out, exhale, crunch, inhale, extend out. Crunch. Inhale, extend out, and exhale, crunch. And returning to tabletop. We'll do a quick child's pose here, just taking a short breather before we move into down dogs and some vinyasas. So if you wish, taking the knees out to the sides of the mat, bringing the feet together behind you, then sitting the hips back onto the heels, keeping the arms extended, maybe walking the hands out a bit and dropping the front body down. Allowing the forehead to hit the mat, relaxing the shoulders. Maybe taking this opportunity to tune into your breath. If you engage in the Ujjayi yogis breath, I invite you to do so. Restricting the airflow just ever so slightly so you add an audible aspect to each breath. So the inhale And the exhale gives a bit of an oceanic or Darth Vader quality. And helps in yoga. Every movement has either an inhale or an exhale tied to it. So it's poetry in motion. So it's been said. And just adding that audible element really helps focus on the breath, as well as the restriction helps warm the body from the inside. Now pushing back up into our tabletop, bringing knees back under the hips, tucking the toes, lifting the hips up, strong through the arms, pushing back, coming into our first down dog. So being in our first down dog, we might want a very generous bend in our knees, pedaling out the feet, really stretching those calves. And any other movement that you take as you stretch in your down dog. And on your next inhale, we'll roll forward, coming into a plank pose. So do a little strength training here. Feel free to drop the knees down for a modified plank, or you can always go down to forearm plank if that modification is needed. Either way, you're very strong in your arms, your abs are nice and tight, your back is flat, legs strong, and you're up on your toes, or even if your knees are dropped, your back is still flat. And we'll hold plank pose for 3, 2, 1, and do a slow lower all the way down to the mat. Once you get to the mat, releasing your toes, bringing the arms alongside the body, and we'll do our first Shalambhasana of the day. So keeping the gaze down on the mat in front of you, zipping the legs together, so bringing feet together. On an inhale, lifting the legs up, lifting the arms up, rolling the chest off the floor, maybe reaching the palms together, and again, keeping the gaze down to protect the neck. Really strong in the back body, strong in the hamstring, shoulders. And we'll hold it for 3, 2, and 1. Releasing down, taking a cheek down to the mat, turning the head to the side. Deep breath in, and then open the mouth, exhale. Let it all out. Bringing hands under shoulders, gently lifting the chest up off the mat. We'll come into a low cobra. So inhale, rolling up, just gently getting into a nice little back bend. Exhale down. We'll take 2 more. Feel free to move the hands. Take any other modifications or movements that feel good, maybe dropping a shoulder down, rolling to the other shoulder. Exhale, rolling slowly back down. And our last one, maybe walking the hands out a bit. Inhale, coming up a little bit higher. Keeping strong in the legs, getting a nice stretch in that low back. And exhale, gently coming back down. Bringing the hands under the shoulders, tucking the toes, lifting the knees, and pressing up into down dog, either through tabletop or plank. We'll only be in down dog for 2 breaths. So inhale, getting the last little stretches out here. And then taking a glance to the top of the mat. Take as many steps as you wish to bringing your feet up to your hands, coming into a forward fold. Inhale, half lift, so hands go to shins. We come up with a flat back parallel to the mat. Then exhale into our forward fold, releasing all the way down. Inhale, arms all the way overhead, extended mountain pose. And exhale, Tadasana. We'll go through a nice little slow vinyasa here. Hopefully Marvin will steer clear. So just checking to make sure we're starting on the right page. Feet are hip width distance apart. Legs are nice and strong. We're not locking the knees, but we are engaging the calves and the thighs. Our core is relaxed. Arms gently by our side, palms facing forward, shoulders relaxed, gaze straight out in front of us. Inhale, lifting the arms up overhead. Exhale, folding forward from the hips, hands to the mat. Inhale, back to our half lift, hands to shins or ankles, flat back. And exhale, hands back down to the mat. Stepping back with the feet into plank. We'll bring the knees all the way down to the mat and then coming down to knees, chest, chin. Rolling into a cobra on the inhale. And then exhale, we tuck the toes, lift the hips, push them back into down dog. Take one more breath here in down dog. Next inhale, we take a glance to the top of the mat. Exhale, stepping up, both feet to hands into our half lift. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms overhead. And exhale, Tadasana. Do a little more traditional one now. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, stepping back into high plank, coming down to low plank or chaturanga. Inhale, rolling forward into upward facing dog. And exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips into down dog. 3 breaths here. Your next inhale, take a peek to the top of the mat. Next exhale, make your way up there. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms overhead. And exhale, Tadasana. Next, we'll get into the hips a little bit. So inhale, extended mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, stepping back only with the right foot. Drop the knees, untuck the toes, and bring arms up overhead, coming into low lunge. Low lunge, we can keep the arms overhead, or you can take hands to knee, but really releasing the hips down and forward, pushing that weight, opening up the hips. Next, we'll roll back, taking our hips towards our back heel, leaning our front body over the front leg, coming into runner's lunge. Deep breaths here as we invite our hamstring to open up, gently allowing our upper body to fold forward. We'll come back into our low lunge. Plant the hands, tuck the toes, lift the knee, step left foot back into our plank pose, and then we'll finish the vinyasa. So exhale down into chaturanga, inhale into up dog, and exhale to downward facing dog. Couple breaths here. On an inhale, raise that right leg up into three-legged dog. And we'll pause here if you wish to bend the knee, bring the heel towards the glute. And extending back into three-legged dog. We'll swing the right leg forward, bringing the right foot to the right hand. And then drop the left knee, untuck the toes, coming into low lunge. Arms can go up and overhead. Allowing those hips to sink down, just breathing in openness. Allowing time and gravity to open up the hips where we store so much tension, so much tightness if you sit at a desk all day like I do. Although today I spent a couple hours driving, so same issue, just sitting for hours at a time. And then we'll roll back into our runner's lunge. So taking hips towards the left heel, folding forward over that front leg. You have tight hamstrings like me. At times this feels good, at other times it's just uncomfortable. Then we'll roll back into our low lunge, tucking the toes, lifting the hips, keeping both hands framed around that front foot. We'll step forward, bringing left foot to meet the right, coming into our half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms overhead, and exhale to Tadasana. Take it to the other side now. So inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step the left foot back, drop the knee, untuck the toes, lifting the arms up overhead, coming into our low lunge. We won't spend as much time here since we've already been on both sides. We'll roll back to our half splits. And then rolling back forward into our low lunge. We'll tuck the toes, lift the knee, step right foot to the back of the mat into our plank, down to chaturanga, pulling through to knees for upward facing dog or cobra, and then exhale, downward facing dog. We lift the left leg on this side, coming into three-legged dog. You can bend the knee and open up that hip, taking heel to the glute. Extending the left leg straight out back into three-legged dog, and then stepping left foot towards right hand. Drop the right knee, untuck the toes, lifting arms up overhead into low lunge. I need to announce the poses earlier. Practice that. Then rolling back into our half splits. Runner's lunge. Breathing deeply here. Coming back into our low lunge. Just one breath. And then with our right leg, we're tucking our toes, lifting our knee, stepping the right foot up to meet the left. Inhale into our half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms overhead. And exhale, Tadasana. We'll do a sun bee before we head back down to the mat and do a little more core work and other strength moves as opposed to stretch. So feet together. Almost forgot about chair pose. Chair pose, feet together if you wish, or you can keep feet apart, knees together if your feet are together. Inhale as if we're sitting into a chair. Lifting arms, nice flat back, or arms can be at heart center. If there's issues in the shoulder. Keeping Putting the weight in the heels, see if you can lift the toes. Make sure you can see your toes. Mine are still pink. They really need to get fixed this weekend. And then exhale, releasing down into forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, stepping back and finishing your vinyasa. We'll meet in down dog, or you can always skip it. We'll just spend a short period of time in down dog, lifting the right leg in three-legged dog. Exhale, stepping right foot to right hand, spinning the left foot flat on the mat, coming into warrior one. We'll hold warrior one just long enough to make sure that our alignment is good. About 90 degrees in that front leg. Back leg is nice and strong. Hips squared to the top of the mat, arms framing the head, extending overhead. And then exhale, hands to the mat. Standing in down dog. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Take a moment here to catch our breath. And then we'll take warrior one to the other side. So lifting left leg into three-legged dog. Stepping left foot up to left hand, spinning the right foot down to 45 degrees. Inhale, arms up and overhead. And we've got warrior one on the other side. Again, we'll pause briefly to make sure that our fundamentals are good here. Our structure is good. And then exhale, hands to the mat, step the foot back, coming down to chaturanga. Inhale into upward facing dog. Exhale to down dog. 3 breaths here. Taking a gaze to the top of the mat and then making your way there on your exhale. Inhale into half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms overhead. And exhale to Tadasana. Now to get down to the mat in a kind of not so cool, well, not so clumsy way, we'll come back into chair pose. Let me give myself some room here. So inhale, chair pose. And we'll hold this for several seconds. And then coming up on your toes, if you wish to join me, lifting the heels and slowly sinking down to the mat. And then if you want to sit back, catching yourself in Navasana. So rolling onto your sit bones, lifting your legs up, and coming into boat pose. So boat pose can have arms behind you. It can have feet down on the mat. It can look all different ways. If you're a rock star, you can do legs straight. There we go. I cannot do that, at least not without my hands behind me and not for very long. I will just hold this looking Navasana. So we want a nice flat back. We're leaning back far enough until we feel our core engaged. If we wish, we can maybe lift our legs, and then when we need a break, we can drop our feet down. But really being strong in the core. And then for an added challenge, if you want to drop down into low boat or canoe, drop down. So again, balancing just on your sacrum, keeping your legs nice and strong, your upper back off the mat. And then we'll inhale back into Navasana, so coming back up. We'll hold this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Taking the arms to the outside and holding it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, taking the arms behind us for 5, 4, making sure that back is flat, 2, 1, and then we'll just come to a nice seat. If you wish, bringing your palms of your feet, the bottom of your feet together, coming into butterfly or cobbler's pose. Getting into those hips one last time. Inviting the knees to fall down to the mat, having the heels as far away from your pelvis as feels good. You might want it close or you might want a more gentle one. Also keeping the back upright or with the flat back, folding forward over the feet. Deepening that stretch. Continuing to breathe here. Inviting the hips to relax. And gently releasing, bringing the knees back together. Spinning down onto our backs, keeping the bottom of the feet, knees bent. We'll do a bridge pose here. So with feet about heels touching the end of your middle fingertips is what I do. Feet hip width distance apart, knees hip width distance apart. On an inhale, we'll lift the hips. Maybe bring the hands under you, rolling shoulders under you. Being sure to keep those knees tracking together, pushing into the mat, into the heels, getting a nice little back bend here. Breathing deeply. And then slowly lowering back down to the mat. We'll do one more bridge pose, or if wheel pose, Dhanurasana is in your practice. Feel free to take it instead. It is not in mine. It is very ugly the times I do it, but given time, inhaling into bridge, lifting the hips, strong in the legs, strong in the hamstrings, the glutes, the thighs. Remembering to keep those knees pulling together, or at least parallel, not allowing them to splay out, as that's my knees would like to do that. And then releasing back down to the mat. Maybe walking the feet out to the sides, windshield wiper the knees, back and forth, allowing that low back to relax. And then hugging both knees into the chest, maybe rolling the low back on the mat, giving it a nice little massage. Releasing the left leg, so bringing the left foot to the mat, crossing the right ankle over the left knee, coming to figure 4. Maybe that's enough of a stretch here. You can always invite your right knee to open away from the body. Getting a nice stretch. Or you can lift the left leg off the mat, taking the hands behind the left thigh right above the knee. And squeezing that both legs in really. And again, inviting that right knee to open away as you pull the left leg towards you. Nice stretch in the outside hip. Nice crack in the back. You're supposed to have that, but as you age. Then releasing back down to the mat. Again, maybe gently rocking the legs back and forth before we take figure 4 to the other side. So crossing left ankle over right knee. Again, maybe this is enough, staying here in figure 4, or lifting the right leg off the mat, bringing both legs in towards the body, taking hands around the back of the right thigh, pulling the right leg in as the left knee moves away from you. Feeling a nice stretch in the rear side of the left hip and thigh. And releasing down. Yogi's choice here for a spinal twist. I think I will drop the left leg straight down to the mat, hugging the right knee in, and then taking right knee and left hand, folding the right leg over to the left side, and then extending the right arm out, taking my gaze out to the mat, keeping that left hip flat on the mat, right shoulder on the mat. So my right knee will not touch the opposite floor opposite side. I will get a nice spinal twist. Releasing the knee back, allowing my right leg to join the left, and then I hug my left knee in. Take left knee and right hand, and invite the left leg to fall over to the right. Left arm extends out to the side, gaze goes out to the left. Left shoulder stays firmly on the mat. Feeling a nice stretch in the back also. In the glute. And the muscles are a bit sore. Maybe we're not all feeling that, but really tuning into the body, maybe assessing how it feels now versus when you first started. Movement on the mat. Bringing both knees into the chest. We'll roll into a final ball. Taking arms around the legs, squeezing up. Just really flexing, contracting every single muscle all the way from your forehead and your face, your shoulders, your arms, down to your feet and your toes. And holding it for 3, 2, 1, and relax. Allowing the body to come all the way down to the mat. Just taking a moment to feel gratitude for the practice today. Maybe catch your breath. Maybe enjoy the silence, or if you've had a playlist going on, enjoy the music. Releasing any breath if you were engaged in Ujjayi. Taking one last moment in stillness. You can stay here for as long as you wish, or if you need to move on with your day. You can join me coming to an upright position, making your way there as easily as possible. Coming to an easy seat. And returning to stillness if you opened your eyes on the way up here. Once you find your closing pose, gently lowering your gaze, closing the eyes if you're upright, maybe bringing hands to knees, straightening through the spine, maybe a gentle bow of the head, slight tuck of the chin. Bringing the hands to Anjali Mudra, prayer hands bringing thumbs to our sternum, honoring the heart. I thank you for practicing with me today and allowing me to guide you through this movement that I love so much. In closing, I acknowledge there is a place in me that is pure beauty, pure joy, love, perfection. And I believe there is also a place like that within you, and when you're in that place within you and I'm in that place within me, I think together we are in the perfect oneness. And from that place, we bow and say, to close the practice, Namaste. All right, thanks for joining in. I will be here again sometime next week doing something similar, maybe a little more physical practice as I fine tune what I'm doing, preparing to teach a class in person again for a change. So, have a great evening.